Alright, so it's been a minute since we uploaded to YouTube, and honestly, it's because we've been playing a shit ton of PoE. So, I mean, this video is going to kind of be the whole point of me showing that, like, this is what we're going to probably make a whole bunch of videos on going forward. But, just for reference, so when we talk this video, because we're going to react to this one, just kind of about endgame, this is what we've done. Got Ranger in 88, Warrior at 44, that was, like, first character. I haven't gone back to that since, like, patch. Pre-patch. That's probably the one I want to work on next. Stormweaver, then a monk, and then we had a merc, but we deleted him, so he doesn't really count. What's the hours? I don't even want to know. Okay, nice. All right. Let's see what he's got.
Here with another video, and January is approaching, and maybe somewhere between 2nd to the 5th of January we'll get some sort of what we're working on, or what we are going to work on now that we're coming back. It might be a little bit longer. It could be like a week later until they sort of like think out like what are we going to work on. But obviously they're having a well-deserved break over the Christmas holidays right now. Hopefully you're all enjoying PoE 2, and I wanted to make a video about what do I think is going to get changed pretty in the short term. Some of these are pretty copium. Some of these are things that I don't necessarily think should happen also, but yeah.
I'm curious. So, like, obviously my take is going to be so much different than Ziz's. Lightning magnitude nerf. I mean, as a lightning arrow ranger, this is probably coming. Rarity nerf is coming super quick. I'd give that like January 10th. That's gone. Breach nerf, I could probably see. Ascendancy changes. Good God, I would love to. Stat stacking nerf, maybe. I don't think so. I don't think that'll be for like a while. Grim Feast specific nerf, I could see it. Titan finally fixed. Anything Jung Run. Temporal Choir. Map stash tab. Oh God, please. Bell nerf, that's definitely coming, bro. Oh no, I think they're 100%. They're 100% botching that. But who knows? Overall removal, life buff for real. Armor buff, I could totally see it. It just seems like evasion's the move right now. Citadel buff. Oh, brother. I still haven't even found mine. And I've just been like going out in like every direction. Boots movement speed. I could see that. Yes, nerf. Respec Ascendancy. I'm curious why he has that in there. On death effect nerf is. Boy, give me that.
Yeah, these are things that I think are fairly likely will change. Not necessarily what I want to be changed, but yeah, some of these are hopeful, some of these are copium, and some of these are fearful. Either way, I filled out a bingo sheet with what I felt was more likely. So lightning magnitude, did I misspell magnitude? I did. Let's ignore that. Lightning magnitude nerf. Obviously we're seeing people one-shot the Ubers on the hardest difficulty, or more than one-shot. It's like 0.001 second kill. It's 180 million damage in like one hit. So like the top end of some builds will probably get shaved off. Hopefully they can do that in a way while they're not screwing over more casual players, because of
like I see lightning rods getting nerfed, and like maybe like a small tweak to lightning arrow, but just don't go crazy. Like just don't shoot that to the ground like you did cast on freeze. You know what I mean? Just a little balance. I could totally see. Just don't chalk it.
So you have a lot of people watching streamers have insane gear, especially on trade, and they're like, this is not the same game I'm playing. And I'm playing SSF, so I'm not having that experience either, because the game is fairly balanced on SSF. Like, even if you're going for a powerful build, you're not going to, like, shred everything. Number 2, I think this is the most likely thing. I think there is a rarity nerf brewing. Particularly, I think they're going to make rarity not apply to currency. That does make it feel very mandatory for a lot of people. I'd be shocked if a month from now, rarity applies to currency, but don't know. But that's pretty safe bet in my opinion.
No shot. I think it'll stay on currency, but it'll be different.
Get nerfed again, but I would rather like to see. It is maybe a little bit crazy with all the points in it, so maybe nerf.
So it's hard for me to say, because like early on in Breach, I thought it needed because it was too difficult. Now I feel like I'm just dying to like skill issue. Again, so on my ranger, as far as that, like I think that'll. I don't see how it needs any nerf now, but again, I don't even have any points spec'd into it. The only thing I've spec'd in is bosses. So I don't know. I could see a breach nerf, but at the same time, like I hope not. I guess they'll probably I could see maybe the loot. I'm getting a bunch of the things that are like exchanging for exalts and stuff. So I guess I could see it, but I hope not.
nerf like the top end or maybe nerf the nodes or something. But I would love to see other mechanics brought up to breach, like expedition and even ritual to me. Like
Oh,
ritual.
in the end game, like just give me more. My biggest thing that I need is just other shit to do. Honestly, I need a delve. I need like a heist. I just need I need something else. I need something else. That's like my biggest thing for endgame.
Ritual, by the way, is crazy that do you need to kill the King of the Mist twice to actually be able to regularly find him? I have not found the Sims League start. And people were like, yeah, I didn't really find him until I found him twice, and then I started finding him regularly. So that's kind of crazy to me. I've done a decent amount of ritual. I have like
February for
30 omens
mechanics,
or
I could
something,
see
and I
it.
still haven't found the king. Very sad. But yeah, I
Dude,
do
I'm gonna
think
be
it would.
honest. And again, this just speaking range, speaking on range, my experience. I don't even do rituals anymore. Like it's too compact. It's too fine. I didn't really mind rituals too much when I was going through the campaign on my warrior, um, or as much really when I was on my sorceress. But again, like that was just because I was a little more tanky. But I do not. I just don't feel like there's enough range in ritual. It's bad for me. But like I don't hate it. I wouldn't necessarily say that it needs changed from my again just from my bum perspective.
Breach nerf will happen. I think the Arbiter will get nerfed. I'm talking specifically, and this makes me terrified of trying him on hardcore. I feel like a bitch, but I think it looks so scary. The move where he does the beam, and then you need to jump in while the beam is still there, and then get hit by the, or to dodge the meteor. I think there'll be a little bit more leeway there. That's something I would imagine. Right now, it's kind of correct because the beam does do a lot of damage. I am expecting a temporary fix to towers. I think a proper fix would take more time, but obviously, towers are fairly universally disliked right now. You see a lot of people complaining about them, especially people playing minion builds. Now, I have a Spark build, it feels a lot better, but it's still something where you're just like, okay, let's just throw in a tier 1 map.
The clear on towers, right? Like going from area to area, like what fixes a tower? Do you just add more mobs to like make it thicker? Like I don't necessarily think so. I'm with them. I think we'll see a big adjustment in towers. Like I think there's gonna be a lot of just change. Like I think in 6 months we're gonna look back at what towers were and like laugh because they're gonna be so different. I don't hate them. I don't love them. Um, like he said, you just kind of toss a low tier map in there. I that was what I used to complete the tier 15 quest. For the last one was literally a tower. Kind of felt like a bitch, but oh well, it is what it is. Yeah, they're meh. They're meh. I could do without them. Like I would rather that just be a better map instead of running a tower.
Up and run. Anything jungle in place will probably get nerfed. So stay away from whatever ability he's using. He might just fuck with people and throw in a random ability just to get that nerfed right before the patch, but we'll see. Maybe the Titan, like I'm talking about the boss. Maybe that'll finally get fixed. The it starts on Z, I think. There's the Titan in Act 2, in Valley of the Titan. That boss is crazy bugged and does way too much damage. Somebody tested and it did over 6,000 damage in the campaign. That's wild.
That's crazy. I remember getting stuck on him like early on, first time playing through. But I just kind of chalked that up to that was warrior on night. You know what 3? Whenever the hell I finally actually made it to Act 2, I just kind of chalked that up to bad. But apparently he's OP.
Luck life builds. I didn't even have that on an ES build, so I just go for gigi damage to try to end the fight fast. I think Grim Feast will get nerfed. I think that's pretty likely. Being able to double your energy shield for that little spirit is kind of crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if they made it 60 or 100 spirit. Stat stacking nerfs, we're obviously seeing insane stacking builds, but this is at least something that requires quite a lot of investment in your character, but does make the game look a lot like PoE 1, which I...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm very much so with them on this. When I saw stat stackers, I just literally was like, oh my god, it's PoE 1. So I could see it getting nerfed, but at the same time, like it's not cheap to get into, and really only your like sweatiest of the sweats are gonna get a build like that because they've got the time to sit there and play it ridiculously. So I if we see something nerfed for stat stackers like or like early in their conversation, I'd be surprised, and if it is, I something small. I don't think they would get like tanked.
I don't believe they want. So
No, I just mean like the like screen clear the way it goes. Like I understand what you're saying, but that just feels way like that just feels PoE 1 down to the fucking T.
I think that's fairly likely. I think there'll be ascendancy changes, like making it easier to ascend. What I suggested in my feedback video was make it that if you run out of honor, you can still ascend. You can still do the thing. You just won't get any loot, but you'll get to ascend. I think that's my favorite suggestion that I've heard.
Bro, dear God, yes. Yes. Give me it. Give me that. I'm totally down for that change, to be honest. No loot, but you get your ascendancy points. Pretty much all I care about is my ascendancy points. I don't really care if I get the loot or not. But I think that's why they won't do it. I don't think they'll do it that way. But ascendancy change would be cool.
Heard, especially for softcore.
Please.
I think most builds that are currently one-shotting Ubers will be targeted pretty hard. Anytime you're seeing anyone do over 100 million damage at this stage in the game, I think it's very likely those things will get nerfed.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Because, like, GGG's not a nerf a build because it's good. They're nerf a build if it's absolutely just demolishing bosses. And, like, if the build is sitting there constantly just smacking a boss with one hit, like, those devs there take that. Like, this ain't Blizzard. They take that as, like, that's disrespect. So it's like, let's just balance it out. Not necessarily nerf to the ground, but, don't one-shot it.
And things like Temporalis or Choir of the Storm. I don't know if Temporalis will get nerfed because it is so rare. You need to do the no-hit run. That is genuinely really hard, and the Relic's really hard. And you should be rewarded for that. But the Choir of the Storm being able to self-proc to infinity, so it crashes the game if the boss has a face. It does infinite damage. That's why it crashes. It's probably not intended.
Right, yeah, that's gone.
That'd be nice. It said coming soon for a while. Hopefully we get it soon.
Please.
Just hopeful. Hopium. Bell nerf. I haven't played Monk myself. I just saw so many people in chat were like, Bell is probably going to get nerfed.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. The TikTok, YouTube shorts, all I see is these monks just dinging their bell and then things just disappear. 100%. I hope they don't, again, tank it to the ground, but nerf coming, for sure. I don't know if it'll be, like, right away. Depends how much, like, the devs have been sitting there watching Twitch streams off the clock.
Correct. And I've heard that so much that I was like, you know what? They're probably not wrong. Citadel buff. I think they'll just make it more likely to farm citadels. I went 5 days without finding one and then found 3. I don't know. They're just feels a bit like owl.
We're about 5 days. I genuinely think we're about 5 days without finding a citadel. Yeah, today might be the day.
Chasing and delve. It's a bit too rare. Armor buff. Armor is in shambles right now. It is in a really bad spot. It needs multiple buffs. It needs like 7 or 9. Don't know what they're going to do with it. If they still want armor to be in the same place where it's meant to tank many multiple hits, or if they're just going to make it more better overall and make it like actually tank big hits too. Don't know where they're going with.
I can't really judge on the armor too much because like I said, I don't even think I made it to Cruel Axe with my sorcerer. I know I didn't make it to Cruel Axe for a fact with my warrior, but like evasion, the move. Absolutely, like in my opinion, evasion's great. I can't speak to armor too much. Like obviously I was dying when I was stacking armor on the warrior, but like again, that was literally like night 1, night 2 of the game. Like nobody knew what the fuck we were doing, so I just chalked that up to skill issue. Yeah, like a energy shield just didn't feel. Again, I never like stacked them or anything, but yeah, I don't know. Armor felt weak. Definitely, I'm glad I'm not crazy for that. And I definitely don't think it's a case of like, oh, bring evasion down to the like. I genuinely think armor needs a buff, energy shield needs a buff. Well, no, he's sitting here saying energy shield nerf. I guess I don't think energy shield as a whole needs a nerf, but I think I've seen some stuff on the skill tree to where I've been like, damn, I bet you someone's figured out some like cheese stuff. Definitely. So I'll be curious to see what he says on that. I really haven't looked into anything energy shield too much. That's probably why my sorcerer is in the tank.
With that, but either way, armor needs a lot of buffs.
Base of yes needs to work. Yeah, I can see
nerfed
it
as well. For 100 spirit is a lot for it, so they can't really increase the spirit cost, but maybe they'll remove a few percentages of damage. Wouldn't be surprised if they don't. To be fair, if all they do is nerf lightning magnitude and the not discharge lightning conduit or something, then my build's fine because I just rely on archmage and cold damage. So it's pretty interesting. We'll see how that continues to perform. Overwhelm removal. Overwhelm in both PoE 1 and PoE 2 is one of the craziest thing. I think something like that can work on a boss. that has like armor break or overwhelm as a special thing, and then it's kind of visible, and you want to avoid getting hit by that attack. But then, and somebody said this in a YouTube comment, like, what if a boss has an armor break? Then like you can get hit once, but if you get hit twice, you're probably getting a one shot. And I was like, yeah, that makes more sense. Having it on monsters in a map where you're just suddenly walking and all your defenses are stripped away is literal insanity. I don't understand why it's in either game. I think life will get buffed in general.
Okay,
The
yeah,
fact
like
that life
I
can
agree on that. Like that is a hole for a mechanic. Like it's just I am kind of out on that because at what point is it becoming like a skill issue versus like you just need to have ridiculous stats? You know what I mean? Like I'm okay with difficult being the skill issue, but I'm not okay with difficult being based on like these just I have to have an insane amount of resistances. That way, when I smack, resistances on a map or something like that, I'm not like, you know what I mean? So it's something along those lines to where it would be like crazy extreme. But yeah, I would rather have it be something more along the lines of just difficult, not like I think you get what I'm getting at on that.
can't really get any sort of defense, especially with armor being so bad right now. The fact that life can't get any sort of defense and energy shield can get 20% energy.
It's really weird. Like I want life in the skill tree, right? Like I do. I want life in the skill tree, but then I don't because like I like that they have it right now so much that it's like I don't know. I feel like the balance of what you're looking at your skill tree for and where your mindset is when you're getting an ascendancy point versus where it was in PoE1 is a lot easier for the for the casual player and the newer way to get in, and it kind of separates it like life and stuff like that being on gear. Um but I don't know, like I just remember going through looking for life buffs as I was leveling those first couple characters, and it's like there's really only like one spot here and there. So yeah, I don't know what you do with life. Maybe you change the tiers around a little bit, but
Energy shield
I don't
plus
know.
a bunch of damage on jewels is crazy. So I think we'll see a life buff in general. Runes being replaceable. I think this should happen super fast.
Bro, this has got to be like the first thing that they put out. First thing that they put out. Just replaceable. Add another currency to have them come out, or honestly just um I don't know. What do we think? Reforge bench for that? Not reforge bench. I'm sorry. Like salvage bench can take them out. Do something with that. I think that as a whole that's a whole separate thing that needs worked on too. But yeah, runes need to be removable, not a doubt.
This is crazy. I really, really want runes to be replaceable. It single-handedly makes my game a lot less enjoyable. I, for 5 days, didn't have runes in my helmet, and people are like, why don't you have runes in? Well, I can't put new ones in, so I want to make sure I want these ones. ES nerf, I think ES in general.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Just pop a new one in over the top and it destroys the existing one. Yeah, 100%. They don't have to make it so that I get it back. Because if you're making it so that you get it back, like that's gonna have a huge shake on the economy. It's already gonna shake the prices and stuff like that, and whatnot, making them be able to pop in and out. But yeah, I mean, to get rid of the other one, whatever you got to do, whatever you got to do, you gotta go though.
Okay, I do want to ES nerf, but I also want more defenses in the game. I don't... So I'm playing... I have 2 builds right now. Both of them are ES, and I have one life build too. See, the life build is a lot squishier. But even on the ES builds, my Infernalist has 60% block and 20k ES. That feels very tanky. My Spark build is 14,000 ES and no block, no armor. That's very squishy still. It's very squishy. So we need more defense options in the game. I would way rather see defense be super strong than watch people one-shot bosses. Like, in general, I kind of agree with what they've said. They don't really want
So
bosses to...
like that's an interesting take, right? Like, would you rather have offense be super good? Because right now, like I'm glass cannon, and that's why I don't want to see like lightning rods get nerfed too much. Like I again, I'm not gonna sit here and disagree and say that they don't need nerfed, even from someone who loves my own build and everything. Like sure, they definitely need an adjustment, but I don't want to see it get like destroyed. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a tough line to walk as far as what I'd rather see more damage. Like I would rather be able to take a couple hits just because of my play style. Like I know I'm bound to fuck up rotations or like I just, dude, I'll fat finger the wrong button, whatever it is. So I would rather it be like just give me the extra defense. I think I'm with him on that take. I'd rather see that. Obviously, people are you're always gonna have your hunters of like the one shot builds and stuff like that, and that's what's gonna kind of make it cool. But if that's really a super small portion of the players, ain't that deep. Give me spell suppression. Oh, dude. Here's the thing. We talked about this. I feel like this was like first week of game release. Like I want spell suppression, but I don't want to have to sit here and like worry about crafting it again. We need that. Something. I'm with that though. So I need spell suppression. I just don't want to have to work for it.
To be face tankable, but I'd way rather have face tankable bosses than one-shottable bosses. So that's my take on that. I kind of hate seeing people just like snap a boss out of existence. Boots.
This might be just also a hot take. I don't think any boss, if you're in like end game of a game, like should be able to one tap. Other than like Ubers, like I guess like Ubers, but like if there's a one tap mechanic for the craziest of characters that are sitting there with just ridiculous stacks of armor or ridiculous stacks of energy shield, and it's still one taps, like I just think that's like depending on how it's made and whatnot, I guess it could work, but for the most part, like I feel like that shouldn't be a thing.
Getting a movement speed implicit. This is hopium. I don't think this is going to happen, but I think it needs to happen.
Oh, 100%. You're still going to sacrifice
I
mods
also
for
don't
defense.
necessarily think this is going to happen. I hope this is going to happen. And then I think we will be able to respec ascendancies. I think they'll change that. These are
Oh, so that's what he was talking about. Okay, I thought he was going to go down the gold approach. I was going to say, dude, I think gold's fine. Switching could you switch your ascendancies as a whole in PoE 1? I'm genuine, dude, bro. All I did was bone chatter. Like I don't know. Yeah, you could. So that's a change from PoE 1 to PoE 2. I think that's getting changed. 100%. Just have to rerun the lab. Yeah. I think that's cool. I think that's cool. I think we'll see that come back. Yeah, I don't like that you can't switch them. I can't see that not being a thing, to be honest.
And I'll probably read over the patch notes or announcements when they do it and like cross them off. But I think this is a pretty good sheet for what I think is likely to happen. But yeah. Hope you guys have been.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of anything else that'll change. Like, as far these are like, super soon. Yeah, I can't really think of too much. I'm curious here.
Enjoying the videos. Thanks for watching. So if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.
I love them, dude. Did people put anything down in here? It's very let's have right runes and sockets. Yeah, dude, 100%. Everyone is just so like about the runes. Almost greater essence is a great virtual is way more common in the end game. I like so yes, but no. Like, don't be going crazy with this because I feel like a perfect jeweler's orb should still be like a lot of money. I mean, 3 divs a little steep. I could see it going down a little bit, but like that, like I do like that. And essences, but like again, this is just me wanting them so I can make more money. But don't go crazy on it.